I'm a balladeer. I'm a folk singer. I can't play like those guys do. I just fake it with these guys doing like that. Like, see, I sing, would you like to swing on a star? That's how I sing, you see. But see on this, see what I got to do on this next one. I have to do down the road, got a big old down the road. That's how I have to sing on this.
It's an
stuff.
art form.
And let's sing it.
Ready? Down the road, down the road, got a little pretty girl down the road, down the road, down the road, got a little pretty girl down the road.
Running down this mountain pass at midnight. Those truckers, they'll flash their light at me. This highway ain't the very best companion, 'cause I know there's someplace else I'd rather be. It's the moonlight and the snow that sets me thinking about the way.
The house on Adams Street burned a few months ago. My brother, my sister, and I, the three of us, whenever we referred to that house, we called it the house on Adams Street. I knew the man who grew up there, and when I saw that the house had burned, well, as you'll soon find out, I'm sentimental to a fault. My stories are about the people and events here in French Lick, my hometown. And I'd like to tell you about my hometown. It's both the tradition and warmth from all of Norman Rockwell's paintings. It's the closeness and love of the Walton family, the goodness and simplicity of Mayberry. Now combine those images with the glamour and excitement of a place like Las Vegas. That's French Lick's unique and colorful history, a combination of extremes. So I thought I would tell you about a day in the life of the man who grew up in that house. Just a normal day, maybe a Saturday in 1938. The man was just a boy then. He would rise from bed and get dressed. It doesn't take long to get dressed when you're going barefoot, no shirt, and bib overalls. His mother's getting breakfast in a small kitchen, wearing her flowered apron dress, and it smells so good. But before he can go down to the old iron bridge for a swim with his friends, she says, "Here, take this and catch the mailman. It has to go out today." Pedaling his bike as fast as he can, he notices a recipe on the back of this penny postcard. It's going to Mrs. Kirby, who lives less than a mile away. It has to go out today. Can't swim long, though. The boy needs a haircut for church tomorrow, so with a quarter in his hand, he's off. Man, that 25 cents could go a long way. Over at Lizzie Taylor's store, a moon pie, some candy, and a big red, he thought. Moon pie, big red, a whippin'. After his haircut, he stops to shoot baskets with the boys. There's a hoop on side of Mr. Weaver's garage, and the game is on. You didn't think I was going to leave out basketball, did you? Well, now it's almost noon. It's time for lunch, and he's got plans for lunch. You see, as most homes do around here, the house on Adams Street sits on the side of a hill, and his house sits overlooking the tomato factory. And if the boy times it just right, he could be at the factory before noon. He could sit on the dock, take his salt shaker out of his bib pocket, and wait for the farmers to toss him tomatoes as they unload their bushels. I think Rockwell would have painted that scene, don't you? Well, now here's where the other extreme comes in. While he's sitting on the dock eating, he sees a plane coming in for a landing. He can see the cinder runway of the airport from his perch. It's not an everyday sight, but he has seen his share of airplanes. But not like this one. This was a big airplane. It's the biggest one he's ever seen. What could that be doing here? He didn't even wipe his mouth and his chin. He was off on his bike, heading for the runway. He got there just as the plane taxied to a stop. The side door opened up and out. This is a very true story. Imagine Stepping out of the plane, standing on those cinders, is Lana Turner and Howard Hughes. Now, he doesn't have a clue who Howard Hughes is, but he sure recognizes Lana Turner. What is she doing here? This is my playground. This is my territory, and this is a Hollywood starlet. Why, it'd be like some kid today seeing Britney Spears get off his school bus. This takes time to sink in. He's looking at her, she's smiling at him. He's got tomato juice running down his chin. He's dying to talk but can't say a word. And who's this aviator with a pencil mustache, ascot, and a leather jacket? You see, that's the way it was here back then. Not a rare occurrence in this small town. Listen, does this sound like any small town you've ever heard of? The West Baden Springs Hotel, when it was built, was considered the eighth wonder of the world. The eighth wonder of the world, right here. The French Lick Springs Hotel hosted the 1931 National Governors Convention, where Franklin Delano Roosevelt was selected as the nominee for president. The 1924 U.S. Open was held here on the Donald Ross course. The Hagenbach and Wallace Circus wintered here in the outskirts of town in two big circus barns. Calliopes, clowns, circus wagons, and lions and tigers and elephants holding each other's tails, and they paraded down the streets. Can you imagine being a kid and seeing that on a Saturday night? I can't imagine it. I would love it if I was an adult. Oh, and the big bands, all of them played here at the hotels. Even the waiters, they were from foreign countries, and they were exotic and colorful, each one. They used to carry huge trays of food balanced on their heads. No hands. I want to see that now. And how about a skinny kid who grows up to become a legend of the National Basketball Association? Larry Bird. Politicians, actors, actresses, gangsters, sports figures, the rich and the famous, they all came here to this little valley. And these are all stories within my story, I guess. My, how simple, how glamorous, how rural, yet how uptown. It must have been magical. As the boy hits the back door, he smells pipe tobacco. Good, his dad's home. Can't wait to tell him about the aviator and Lana Turner. Dad'll probably drop his fork right there at the supper table. Time to get cleaned up, though, because the family's going to town. Saturday night in town, where all the stores have red and white striped awnings. The streets are bricked, and the sidewalks are crowded. Very few cars, just people walking, window shopping, visiting. Hey, there's Mrs. Kirby. Couldn't we have given her that recipe now? The people of town mingled with the guests from the hotels. I wish Norman Rockwell had come to French Lick. The boy's dad meets friends and pals at the corner. Say, he says, has anyone seen that big plane out at the airport? Well, you're not going to believe who was in it. His mother stops by the little dress shop. She needs alterations. He heads straight to the Wells lot. You see, there's a talent show there tonight, and a brass band is going to be playing on the town green. Oh, how he loves the harmony from those horns. There's a lady in a mink coat standing right next to him. Could it be? No, it's not. Then he hears two young girls singing a duet up on the gazebo. They're sisters. The boy watches and listens, having no idea that in 10 years he's going to marry one of those girls. And he'll have 3 children. 3 children who always called the house he grew up in the house on Adams Street. I better go now. I'm feeling just a little melancholy.
If you've got time to spend with your radio friends, then take a listen and you'll see. So chase away your blues, turn your